For some odd reason, I just get a chuckle out of "You are live." Well, not really yet. Anyway, good Friday mornings, or as some would say, Friday. Um, I hope you have a good weekend um, planned, maybe, or that you're able to be spontaneous enough to enjoy the weekend, regardless of the weather. So let's talk about that, okay? Actually, what I want to say is um, more relative to, the title here is Beyond the Session Walls. So I'm a somatic trauma guide. I can use the word therapist if you look up the word therapist. If you just get beyond the common usage of the term, I'm good to go. Here's what it means to be beyond the session walls. And I'm going to relate this a little bit to some Buddhist meditation practices I've been involved with. If a client comes to you, and we all know that they need a few things to really learn to begin to heal, and that is they have to be safe. And so in my practice, I've endeavored to do the same thing consistently week after week after week after week after week, because this would sometimes give some people who don't know what consistency is a sense of consistency, right? And that helps them relax. And you can't relax if you don't feel safe enough to do so. And it's not here necessarily. And it's not even, if you read Stephen Porges at all, it's not that there's an absence of a threat. The threat could be present. It's a neurophysiological state. As a firefighter, I was expected to run into buildings that could be booby trapped. Had that happen once. We caught it, fortunately. But anyway, or just flat out on fire. And determine, can we put this out, or do we fight this thing? Do we not? I mean, but everybody else runs out, we run in. And so there was a real presence of a threat. But if you are prepared for that, and police officers do the same thing, the military does the same thing, and some of those people just are not prepared. But if your neurophysiology is prepared and trained, then it doesn't matter whether the threat is there or not. It's your own neurophysiological state. And you might have tools to deal with that. Anyway, your clients need to feel safe. They need to feel safe. And that might take a few months for them to have a consistent enough pattern with you, which begins to develop attunement, which begins to develop attachment. You might see where this is going. But all we're talking about is for them to be able to come into a place, whether it's virtual or not, have the consistency of maybe the same background, the same face, same vocal intonations, and excuse me, be able to move into that, relax into that, so that their body begins to feel safe, which is what Porges says. If the neurophysiology isn't safe, the healing just isn't going to happen. It needs to be felt by the body. So there's this consistency, and the body can find it. Okay. And so, if you'll excuse me, I just got a notification for a restart. And you would think, anyway, say 9 a.m. Cool. All right. So it'll be busy doing its thing while after I'm done, so forth and so on. You would think that the machine would know, oh, he's in the middle of a video. Let's not do that. Anyway, and here's something you could be dealing with as you are with a client. So what do? You say, excuse me. You don't want to ignore that, because in the middle of that, you're going to be talking and saying something important. Boom, your computer shuts down to restart. You've lost the connection. So it's this consistency and if I could learn how to schedule that so that restarts are always done at a certain hour of the day. Then I just know that get a notification. I should probably write to Microsoft. Anyway, they want that consistency so that their body can relax into this. Because if in my case, I spent 58 years traumatized, had no idea what trauma even was. So how long do you think it's going to take before my body begins to feel safe? It isn't 15 minutes. It isn't 5 minutes. It's not 4 breaths. It's going to take a while. And that's one thing that has to be worked with your clients. So the point, though, is how do we get beyond the session walls? That's why we assign homework. And we encourage them. So now I'm going to grab my Buddhist meditation stuff. So I can sit here on the cushion and I can, have my little altar as an imitation of what's in the temple or wherever it is I go to meditate or whatever I set up, because it's one of the things they teach in meditation is, have something that's visually creative and visually inspiring. And so there it is. I meditate 1 hour every day, every week, however many times you do it, for whatever length of time you do it. And there it is. And yet, once you get up off that cushion and you're out in the big, bright world. So for those of you who do not have a bright world today, carry on. Your day will come and my day will not be so bright. Anyway, the point is we need to practice things in such a way and teach our clients in such a way so that when they get up off the cushion, what they're doing here on the cushion goes outside with them. If we aren't doing that, we're not doing our clients much good. Right? Would you agree? So that consistency, that safety, that they know that they're okay with you, that no matter how they come to you, they're okay, that, yeah, we're good here. This is cool. Then they get to breathe into that, relax into that a little bit. And as they're doing that, they begin to feel that safety. They will then come back to that. They come back to that. And then they're being encouraged that they can do this, once they start doing things on their own between sessions, it begins to reinforce that feeling outside of the session walls. And that is the goal. That is the goal. I don't want a client forever. To me, that would say you're a failure. I need that person to be able to be interdependent apart from me. And so I give them tools so that they can learn, so that they can practice between sessions, so that they can have the same experience, if not better, outside there than even inside here. That the whole broad spectrum of things that can occur to them, the attunement and the attachment, just for two, for example, can begin to happen to them out there. Because then that gives them the courage to be out there as human beings that have worth, have dignity, that deserve all that kind of stuff. So as you think about and work with your clients, think about those things. Think, what can I do for this person so that outside of the session walls, these people feel safe, that these people feel success, that they feel like they're healing. I am not of the school that says that healing is a forever thing. It's a journey. No. If I break my arm, what? Does it heal all the rest of my life? Now, or if I want to use it in Brohuza, Jill Bolte Taylor, is she still recovering from her stroke? I'll bet if you asked her, she'd say no. Because she ended up standing on stage with a brain in her hands years later, talking about the incident. She's written books that include that incident. She's not healed. She's done healing from that stroke. And now she's into a growth phase as a different person. Healing trauma is no different. It does have and can have an end. And after that, you just get to grow. I don't manage symptoms all day long. I don't need to. I can go outside and stay here. Here's where the rub is. Okay. If I can get myself a nice chaise lounge, beach chair, whatever, go put myself in it, put my feet up and do nothing and relax into that and feel good doing that, that is a very, very, very good sign that I've healed. And you can stay there for a few minutes, 15, 20. Well, if I go outside in the sunshine for about 15 or 20 minutes, then I have to, because then I start to feel it in my skin, and that's when I know a burn is coming on. I'm done. Time to put a shirt back on, cover up, because if you don't, you'll be in pain tomorrow. So that is to me, ultimately, if I'm safe enough just to put my feet up and say, oh, that sunshine feels good. Set the alarm, because I'm sure this warmth is going to make me go to sleep. And that's the way it's going to be. I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to do anything. Doing nothing. Well, actually, they are. I am now connected to my outer world, enjoying the sunshine and the smell, whatever. I can't help but be that way because, I'm breathing. You can see my windows open, but I'm breathing. I'm breathing that air. I'm connected with that. Even though if I sat here and did nothing, I would still be connecting with my bigger world. So if you're not feeling safe and you can't do that, that's what you need to talk to your therapist about that. But if that's what you want, hey, cool, because that's to benefit. But if you're a provider of any sort, these are some of the things that I think will help your client greatly, taking your experience beyond the session walls. That is the goal. Because if it's just confined to the cushion, if my enlightenment then will only be there, and that's not enlightenment. That's what they call spiritual bypassing. When I get down the road to enlightenment, I don't need that cushion anymore. I am walking, talking enlightenment. Same thing with being healed. So anyway, take your experiences beyond your session walls and see how that feels for you. Have your clients do that. See how it feels for them. Help them be out in that bigger world. All right. Well, so you have yourselves a great Friday. We will talk to you later. Bye.